I'm back with another vlog. Anyways, so today I'm gonna be doing a story time. So today's story time is gonna be how I met my baby dad and all this juicy stuff. Get all into the juicy details about their dad and how we met and why we broke up and where we are now in our situationship. I guess that's what you call it, a situationship. So yeah, let's start from the beginning. So I met their dad when I was in high school, and at the time I was going to Sac High here in Sacramento, and I was a sophomore and he was a freshman, I believe. Yeah, I was a sophomore and he was a freshman. So it was crazy because, like, I don't know, I didn't know him at all. Like, I seen him one day in class, and then like we started, like, you know, flirting back and forth and stuff, and then like we exchanged numbers, and then that's where everything started. It was completely, like, I wouldn't say a mistake because I love my kids, but it was a mistake. No, I love my kids so much, but that part was a mistake. But anyways, so we met in high school. He was like 14, I was like 15 or something like that. We were around like that, around that age or whatever. And like we would talk on the phone a lot, and I'm not like gonna put like all of his business out there, but like at that time he was like going from like group home to group home or whatever because he would always get in trouble. But we would, like, we weren't together, like we were not together. We would conversate all the time. Like when he was in jail, I would write him. We would talk on the phone. Like it would just be here and there, you know, like there would be gaps where like I was with different people and then he was talking to other people, you know. So it wasn't like, oh, we just jumped into a relationship like from the get, you know. It took like a long while for us to really like be together and have kids. So like we went through that whole phase where like we were just friends, like we would flirt here and there and stuff like that. And then he was out of state for a long time, and he came back to California when he turned 18, and like boom, right after that it was over. Like like we met up, and then after that it was just like we were with each other like all the time. Like I would always be with him. You know, I was kind of like young and in love, and like I just wanted to like consistently be by him and like be around him. But through the time like he was out of state, I was like seeing different people and stuff like that, and we didn't have no kids. Like we didn't even like do anything like intimate wise or whatever. Yeah, intimate wise or whatever. And so yeah, he came back to California, and that's when everything changed. I swear to you, it was just crazy. So when we started hanging out more, we finally decided like, okay, we're gonna be together, you know, we're always together anyway. We got into a relationship. I was like 18 at the time. Like, no, I was turning 19 or whatever, and I was still living at home with my mom, and I was just so like dumb and in love. Like I wanted to be by him 24/7. Like, so I would never be home. I would always be like out doing stuff. Like I had my own car at the time, like I had my own job, so like I didn't have any kids, so I had the chance to be with him all day every day, you know. So like I took advantage of that, and I was like, screw it, you know, I can do whatever I want. I'm 18, like, you know, I'm about to be 19, like, you know, living the life basically. So when our relationship got really serious, like I not ran away from home, but technically I did or whatever, because I found out that I was pregnant. I found out I was pregnant like around Thanksgiving time, like I don't even know what year, like friggin' 2014 I found out I was pregnant. And like I told my mom, you know, I was working for the state at the time. I told my mom, and she's just really mad at me, you know, and I was so stupid that I wanted to be with him, like I didn't care. So I left home, and like it was so bad to where like I would sleep in the car because I didn't want to be away from him. Like we would hop from house to house or whatever, and I did not, like I was already set with like I did not want to go back home. Like I wanted to be by him, like under his ass, you know. And that was like the worst mistake or whatever. But so I was pregnant and we were sleeping in the car, we were hopping from house to house, like, you know, we would stay in like hotels here and there. Like it was just so horrible. And eventually like my grandma let us stay in her house, and then like we had to get our own apartment because we were having a baby, you know, and we didn't want to be like moving from house to house with a baby, you know, and I was pregnant. So we got our apartment when I was like 5 months, maybe 5-6 months or whatever. And like at that time I felt really blessed. I'm like, you know, he was working and everything, like it felt really good to have our own place. And you know, we set it up nice and everything. And our relationship when we got the apartment just literally completely went downhill. Like literally went downhill. Like we were like physically, verbally, everything, abusing each other. Like not to say anything, but like a little more on his part, you know, because I was pregnant. But we were just in a like messed up relationship. It was just so bad. Like I don't know, I felt, but I was still in love with him, so I wanted to be with him, you know, and I wanted to do everything to make our relationship work for our son. So I stayed with him, but I just like kept noticing things like, you know, the cheating, the lying, and like there would be points where I would like not physically cheat with somebody else, but I would like talk to other people. Not while I was pregnant, this was like after I had my son. But at that point I was like completely fed up. I didn't want like nothing to do with it anymore, but I still loved him. Like so I was like indecisive, you know, like I'm like, I want to be with you, but I don't want to be a part of this abusive relationship, you know, because we're just like mentally messing each other up. And it was just horrible. Like I wasn't myself anymore. Like it was just so bad. So I had my son, well, we had our son, and things started to kind of fall back into place, and it started to become good again or whatever. But there was still a lot of cheating going on. There was still a lot of lying. There was still a lot of like manipulating. There was still a lot of stuff that was not healthy for the both of us. And then when my son was like 3-4 months, I found out I was pregnant again. And I didn't tell my family because I was like not embarrassed, but I kind of was like, I just didn't want to come out and say like, oh hey, you know, I'm pregnant again and I just had my other son. Like it was just wild. Like I felt really depressed at the time. Like my anxiety was through the roof. Like I just didn't know what to do at that point. But my grandma like noticed that I was pregnant. Like she could tell on my face, she could tell like the way I was acting. So like I had no choice but to be like, you know, and eventually I was gonna start showing. So I just, I came out and I told her, you know, yeah, I'm pregnant again and we're gonna have another baby. And you know, and it was just so unhealthy. Like everything that we went through at that time was just bad. Like to bring another baby into the world at that time was just so not good. And man, like my heart was broken because I really wanted to make our family work, you know, and I thought in my head that there was a chance that it would work, but in all reality, there was no way, no going back, no fixing it or whatever. So like when I was during my last pregnancy, everything just went completely down in the dirt where you could not like dig that shit up. Like it was just completely bad. Like there was so much cheating going on, there was so much lying, like just so much to where I didn't even know what to do anymore. I just felt so alone, like, you know, and I was confused. I was really confused, like, I don't know, it was just crazy. So then something really major happened while I was pregnant with my youngest son, like really big, to where like we had to literally separate. Like it was so bad, the situation was so bad to where we just couldn't, like it was done. Like the relationship was done, the family wasn't gonna work anymore, like it was just over. Like the disrespect was like completely 100% utterly disgusting, and I just had to completely call it quits. But did I completely call it quits? No. And that was the wrong thing on my end because I was really stupid. So I had my son and we were not together at the time, but we would like associate physically and verbally with each other here and there, you know. I still was like, maybe my family could work, you know. So I tried one more time and then it was over. So like when my youngest son was like 2-3 months, I got into a different relationship with somebody else and it got really serious. But I felt like their dad was taunting me the whole time with me being that I was with somebody else. Like he didn't want to see me with nobody else, so like he was taunting me, you know. But I can be 100% honest with you guys right now. Like I was completely wrong also in the whole picture, because like I would do my part, like I would cheat, like not physically, but I would cheat, I would talk to other people, like, but we weren't technically together. So I just felt like I did everything in my power to make my family work and nothing was happening. So I got into a different relationship and, you know, I was with that person for a long time. And then like I moved to Iowa like a year ago, recently, like a year ago, and he had followed me out there, and I felt like I had no other choice but to try to make my family work regardless of the circumstances. So that's what I did. I tried to make my family work, and at first it was going really good, but then I really realized in my heart and in my mind, like I couldn't do it anymore. It was over. I was not in love with him. I turned into a totally different person. Like I never thought I would be this person ever in my life. Like, and I'm not a bad person, I just am not the same Dominique that I used to be. So it's kind of hard to explain to you guys what I mean, and some people might understand where I'm coming from, but others may not. But I'll tell you one thing right now, like any relationship that you get into may seem good in the beginning, but any little thing or big thing can change that person and cause them to do a whole 360, you know? So I don't completely agree with people that are always like, you know, well, you knew what you're getting yourself into and you still did it. Well, no, like you don't understand. Like, you know, you can really love somebody, they may be one way and completely change out of nowhere. You just don't ever know what can come with the relationship, you know? So he came back to California and I stayed in Iowa, and we just separated. He got into a different relationship, which I completely like his girlfriend. You know, I like her around the kids and everything, and I got into like different relationships or whatever, but not like we don't get along, but we do sometimes. But we really don't get along. Like, I don't know if that makes sense, but like we really don't get along. Like sometimes I just, no, I'm just kidding. No, but like, we fight so much, like, but then we can cordially get along sometimes when he's like in his right mind. But when we hate each other, we dislike each other to the core. Like, we do not like each other 90% of the time, but we try to like each other for our kids. Like, and this is not to bash him or anything, and as much as he's wrong, I'm wrong too, you know, but he's just a little more wrong. Like, I try to fix our parental relationship because I don't want my kids to see that we completely hate each other and we can't fix our situation and try to make it work, you know. But it's so hard because I feel like sometimes I bring back that like hate that I have from him doing what he did to me, but at some points, like, I'm trying to let it go. I'm trying to forgive him, you know, because you just forgive and forget. You just leave it alone. But most of the time, like 90% of the time, I can't fucking stand him. Like, I swear, like, but I love him for giving me my kids. Like, you know, he gave me life. Like, these kids are everything to me. So some of you guys who don't know yet, we have 2 kids together, ages 3 and 4. They'll be 4 and 5 this year, and we have 2 boys together. And one thing I will say about him is that he is, like, when he is a good dad, he is a great father. Like, he is so good with his kids. Like, you could tell he really loves his kids. He just doesn't know how to say it sometimes or act upon it sometimes. But when he is a really good father to them, I really appreciate it because they love their dad. They know who their dad is. It's not like they don't know who their dad is. It's just him trying to show that he loves them and he cares for them and he wants to take care of them is a hard situation right now. It's not easy for him, you know? Right now, like, where me and him stand, like, he's still out of state, but we're trying to find that like pin where we can come together and co-parent, and he's working on himself and I'm working on myself, because sometimes I feel like I can be really like bitchy, like really evil sometimes, and the things I do say they can really hurt somebody, you know, and I don't think about that. But I'm trying to work on that so we can be parents to them, but not in a relationship, like co-parents, because I'd rather show my kids that we're getting along as co-parents than to show them that we're in a relationship and it's just not working, because I don't think that's healthy for my kids at all. Like, I really don't think that. So that's what I'm trying to do, is mend our relationship as parents together, but not as boyfriend and girlfriend or anything like that, you know. Like, that's not what I want. Like, I'm not in love with him anymore. Like, I see him as their dad and he sees me as their mom, and that's it, you know. And I don't know how he feels on his end, but I know that I just am not in love anymore, and I just want to be parents to them, and I want to show my kids that their dad loves them. And it's a little bumpy right now, but I have faith that maybe one day we'll come together as a family, as mother and father, not anything else, but like as mother and father to these kids. And like, for relationships that we're in, like, I don't care if he's in a relationship with somebody else. I want to make sure that they're good for my kids as well. Just as he says to me, like, whoever I'm with, he just wants to make sure that they're being good to my kids, you know, to our kids. So don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. I just want to make sure that I can help somebody out. These videos are just to help people out, and I really hope that I can help somebody out. So like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. I hope you guys enjoyed my video.